in there, and I'm just like, all right, God, I just want to make sure they get it. I hope it's clear. I hope they understand. And then David was like, hey, little sis, tell them about me. And I was like, David, they already know about you. They know you slayed Goliath. They know you. They know who you are. He was like, no, break some stuff down for me. And I was like, all right, bet. So he said, remind them of how I was isolated in the wilderness. How when the prophet Samuel came to seek the next leader because God told him he was in this area, my biological father didn't even think enough of me to consider me in the first round. Like Samuel had to say, is there someone else, elder? David was like, ask him to think about that. I know how rejection feels. I know how it feels to be the black sheep of the family. Uncle, tell him I've been there. Everybody else getting praises, getting clout, getting all this support, and you out in the wilderness fighting for your life, fighting lions, fighting bears. What does that look like for you? Trying to overcome that addiction? Trying to work on your strongholds, trying to break generational curses. And because you're doing that, people looking at you saying, oh, you think you too good. David knew how that felt. That's what his brother did to him when he went on the scene. He was like, dog, what you doing here? David was like, I'm just bringing you lunch because that I aided in his deliverance, that I supported with emotional intelligence. That very one is the one that came for me. That had monitoring spirits watching me. Oh, I know I'm in the vein. That had me running into a cave because I feared my life. I feared for my life. The one that instead of allowing God to just continue to use him, he was so emotionally unstable that he went and saw a psychic and it opened more evil spirits. Tiff, why are you saying that? Because sometimes you have to understand that those that give you your opportunity, they're still human. And you can't play God and judge them. But are you going to be bold enough to say, okay, thank you, because now you're teaching me what not to do? And move forward. Remind them that as I put my faith into practice and I had a covenant with his son, I kept that covenant and I stewarded it with God's love, with emotional intelligence. Remind them that, yes, I messed up, Uncle. We all know Bathsheba. He said, remind them that when the prophet came and called me out, yes, even in my weakest moment, God heard my cry. And because I knew who was my true strength and help, I overcame, right? My faith was continually put into action. Remind them again about the prophet Nathan. He came to me after my sin, Bathsheba, and I cried. He cried, have mercy on me, O God. According to your steadfast love, according to your abundant mercy, blot out my transgressions. Wash me thoroughly from my iniquity and cleanse me from my sin. For I know my transgressions, and my sin is ever before me. I have done what is evil in your sight. Accountability, transparency. Behold, I was brought forth in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me? God, you said I was born into sin, but I'm still your child. Sometimes you got to advocate for yourself. God, I'm dirty. God, I'm tired. God, I keep missing it, but I'm still yours. God, I'm hurting. I'm confused. I'm lonely. Sometimes I feel desperate. Sometimes grief consumes me till I can't even breathe. But I'm yours. David said, remind them that when the prophet came and spoke a word to me, I hid away and I evaluated myself. I didn't reason my sin. I didn't excuse my sin. But I fell on my knees to God. And I said, help me. That is putting faith into practice. That is allowing God to be your everything. I encourage you as we transition to morning worship, delight in Him. Trust Him. Believe that you were created for more. And understand that only what you do for Christ will last. So be mindful, because God is not mocked. Whatever seed you sow, that's the seed you will reap. Be mindful of when you are tempted to lie. Be mindful or when you are tempted to move in deception and deceit. Be mindful that you may not be caught on this side. The natural eye may not catch it, but God sees everything. He is omnipresent.